In this video, we're going to look at how to construct an angle bisector using a compass and a straight edge. So if you look right here in this diagram, this shows you what you're going to be doing. So there's really only going to be 3 arcs that you're going to need to construct. So the first one, you're going to pick a distance, you make an arc, and then you're going to use those endpoints on that arc to construct 2 new arcs that have to be the same distance. So let's go ahead and look at an example of that. So the first thing you're going to do is take your compass. And when you have your compass, you can choose the original distance. So you're going to place the metal point on the vertex of the angle. And then the distance that you pick for the width of your compass is really up to you. You don't want to make it too wide, though. You don't want to make it go outside of the angle. And you don't want to make it too small, because if you make it too small, then it's kind of difficult to work with. So I would say somewhere kind of like in the middle. And that's just kind of eyeballing it, not an exact measurement. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an arc. And then from here, you can decide to change your compass width if you want, or you can just keep it the same. It doesn't really matter. It's probably easier just to keep it the same, but you can change it. So now that I have my arc, the whole point of that arc is telling you where to measure from for the next 2 arcs. So I need to measure from the intersection. So this point and this point is where I'm going to be using those as measurement places, or where I'm going to place my compass. So I'm going to place the metal point on that intersection, and I'm just going to keep my compass the same. Like I said, you can change it if you want, but you can also just keep it the same. So now that I have my compass set, I'm going to draw an arc just somewhere in the interior. It doesn't need to go all the way outside the angle. It's got to be somewhere in the interior is fine. Now, this is the important part. Keeping this compass width exactly the same, you can't change it here. You're going to take your compass, you're going to drag it down, and now you're going to draw another arc in the interior of the angle. And you're going to see that your arcs cross. If your arcs don't cross, then that just means you need to make them extend the arcs a little bit. So now what I've done is I first started with an arc, got my 2 points, and then from there I went the same distance away from each of those points. So that's going to create the angle bisector, because this point is the same distance away from these 2 points on the sides of the angle. So if I go ahead and draw a ray connecting from the vertex through that point, any point on this ray is going to be equidistant from the sides of the angle, which tells me that this is really the angle bisector. So now I've just created the angle bisector, so I can go back through and I can label these 2 parts as congruent, because angle bisector means that you have 2 congruent parts.